A couple of months ago, I took a group of 20 to 30 teachers on a nature walk through a parking lot. Picture your average corporate parking lot with a sidewalk and some nondescript buildings on one side. The other side, a fence, right? White lines on the asphalt uh, to mark out the parking spaces. Um, There was a narrow strip of land that had some trees, ornamental bushes, mulch to the side between the parking spaces and the fence. And our goal, or stated goal, was to find signs of life using all of our senses and to notify each other when we found something. And the teachers found bugs in pine cones and under leaves. They heard bird calls. They saw holes in trees that could have been made by insects or from squirrels or from woodpeckers. They found food wrapper trash on the ground that they decided was a sign of human life. Um, they found spider webs in doorways. They picked up cracked acorns. And in just under 5 minutes outside in a concrete covered suburban office park, they found an abundance of nature. Hello, I'm Nicole Javale Sprable, and this is Wildwood Teaching. And you may be wondering why I was leading a nature walk through a corporate parking lot. I was trying to both make the point that we can find nature anywhere and prepare the teachers to be nature guides for children in a similarly non-wild setting. Because this summer, I am working with a camp program for school-age children to provide once a week outdoor nature-focused experiences. Now, if you've been listening lately, I have spent a lot of time trying to counter the perceived barriers to outdoor nature-based teaching. And a common rebuttal I hear from people is, I can't do it because I don't have access to nature. This program has only been going on for a few weeks, but I think it provides some useful ideas for how anyone can implement nature-based exploration, no matter where they are. Elementary school playgrounds are usually mostly covered in a hard surface, asphalt. There's usually a large metal play structure with some mulch under it. Some school grounds are lucky. They might have some open space. Usually, if there is some open space, it's a playing field. Maybe there's a row of trees at the edge that, marks the perimeter of the space. But everything is also usually pretty manicured, or it's not wild. It's, unless you've got, a few weeds and insects around, this is a maintained human manufactured space. So if this is your situation, something similar, I'll kind of tell you some things that we have been doing this summer in the program that can be adapted to any urban or suburban area, that can be adapted to any age group. So I've got 4 things. The first is nature journals. The very idea of keeping a nature journal is to document the nature that you do find. So that means that they are easily adapted to whatever nature you are finding, whatever is available. So I provided the teachers with a general structure. Each child is going to get a journal that's going to last them the whole summer. They're going to keep it at the program. Every time they do a journal page, they're going to date it. And then they're going to decide what goes on each page. Now, Since both the children in the program and the teachers are new to nature journals, I did provide the teachers with some ideas, some ways that children could complete their nature journals. They could draw in it. They could do some texture rubbing. They could take photographs and glue them in. They could do anything that has to do with numbers. They could measure some things. They could count some things that they are finding. They could write descriptions. They could write stories or poems about what they're finding. It might generate a list. Maybe here's my list of everything I found. Or here's my diagram and here's my list of the parts of it. They could mix and match the art media that they are providing for the children, not just colored pencils. Maybe they're doing watercolors. Maybe they are using charcoal pencils. And then I also, like I said, this is supposed to be children's ideas, but let's say, because this is a main thing that teachers are worried about. What if the children don't know what to do? What if they're not doing anything? What if they don't have any ideas? I have yet to find a child that doesn't have any ideas. But just in case, I wrote an entire list of open-ended prompts, that questions that teachers could ask to jumpstart the children's wonderings. Option 2, just take a walk. Just like we did around the parking lot, as I described in the beginning of this video. Just take a walk around the perimeter of wherever you are and talk about what you notice. Walk across the empty field and make sure you're looking at your feet or looking up into the sky. And again, right, you can leave it open-ended if you need something to guide you. Similar guidelines, but tap into children's imagination. So I did, one where I suggest to the children that you're aliens landing on Earth from outer space and you're exploring this new planet. What are you going to find? Or maybe you're settlers. We're in the Northwest, so maybe you are settlers on the Oregon Trail and you are exploring the Wild West and you want to know everything about the native plant species and animals that you are finding in this new location. You want to make it slightly more formal? Scavenger hunts are so easy to set up, and I suggest just keeping it really general. And again, that's how you match it to the ages, right? If you've got younger kids, let's scavenger hunt for colors. Just see if we can find all the colors. See if we can find the shapes. Maybe if they're getting older, maybe we're finding 3-dimensional shapes. Maybe we are matching it to something that we've read in a book. Maybe we're looking for animal homes. So the main goal really this summer was just to encourage that connection. Right? We're just going to connect with nature. We're going to explore. We're going to jumpstart conversations and discussions. I want you to discover, and I want you to talk about what you're discovering with people around you. All right. Option 3 is to make some open-ended art. Lots of art projects can take advantage of whatever nature is around you and is available, including sticks and pebbles, dirt, grass. Grass makes excellent hair in collage art, excellent arms, legs. I had a child that after we went looking for aliens, they made an alien out of grass. They kind of like a stick figure, right? They just used the grass as the lines that they glued into their nature journal and created a grass alien. You can make mandalas. You can make magic wands and journey sticks. You can create puppets, right? You've got the stick, get some leaves, glue it on. Again, if you are focused on aliens or monsters, that means that children are free to use their imagination. That makes it a little bit easier than trying to make a particular animal or make it look like a person. And it's okay to mix and match. You can bring in pipe cleaners. You can bring in your wiggly eyes. You can bring in glue. You can bring in string. I just suggest limiting the consumable art. One, to keep it sustainable, but two, to keep the focus on nature, right? If you have construction paper and everything else available, then, children have the option to ignore the nature altogether. But if you only bring one or two options, they're more likely to mix and match it. Right. Last thing is to create some STEM challenges. And again, take advantage of the particular terrain, the particular nature that you do have. And again, feel free to bring in additional materials. For example, do you have a lot of sticks? Fantastic. Bring out string or bring out the wood glue, make some boats, test their floating ability. You can bring out bins of water, test their floating ability. All you got is dirt? Fantastic. Get some scoops, get some magnifying glasses, get some white paper, and challenge the children who can find the most different substances hiding in their dirt. Do you have trees with large leaves? Get out that bin again. How many pebbles or little toy animals can float on your leaf in the water before it sinks? Is there anything that you can do to make it float with more items? All you got is field of grass? Challenge the children to make an animal that can hide in the grass. Okay? You could think about color camouflage, but you could also go beyond ways beyond color that animals use to camouflage. So you can tell the students, so don't have any green available for the grass, or if you do want to do color, give them another challenge, right? The animal needs to be as big as your hand, and we're still going to camouflage it. So I hope this gives you some ideas of how you can connect children to nature, no matter where you are, that you do have access to nature, even if it looks like that corporate parking lot or an elementary school playgrounds. Just go for a walk and wonder, or bring out those nature journals, or have some STEM challenges, or make some ephemeral art with what you're finding, and then let me know how it goes. Right? As always, you can comment under this video. You can connect with Wildwood Teaching on Facebook, on Instagram. You can subscribe to my newsletter and reply to it. I would love to be sharing your ideas out with a larger group. And then join me here next week because I toured some preschools in San Antonio, and I will be sharing some pictures and some ideas that I gleaned from that tour. I will see you there.